Let's begin.
Burn, ungodly filth!
What do you want? To make you ours or to make you despair?
Spirit Blade Productions presents...
Do you have any idea how much I will make you suffer? The horrific agony that I will inflict.
Spirit Blade, Dark Ritual.
Hell will be a refuge for you when I'm finished. For more information, visit spiritblade.com. Rejoice, ye penny-pinching nerds! Rejoice! For this is a season unbound by our bank accounts, unfettered by fees. A legendary age of liberty. This is the summer of free! Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. I'm ready to celebrate some more of the summer of free. I want to talk to you about Adventure Quest at battleon.com as a potential video game option that won't cost you anything. I created my account for this game originally way back in 2005. That's like, oh man, that was a year before I launched Spirit Blade Productions. And I last played the game in 2015. And then I picked it up again to revisit for this Summer of Free segment. Now, we did feature its spin-off, Adventure Quest Worlds, a few years ago as part of the Summer of Free, but this is the original game that one was an offshoot from. It's a Flash-based game played in your browser through a free account that doesn't require any kind of download. It's basically the distilled essence of the classic turn-based JRPG. You've got a side view of your character and the monsters you fight, and you exchange attacks back and forth until one of you is dead, usually the monster. Combat starts out being very simple, just attacking back and forth and deciding when you're going to drink a potion or whatever. But with multiple skills, spells, classes to unlock, as well as pets and allies to recruit, it definitely gains complexity. The strategy usually revolves around looking at the monster's stats, which includes their elemental strengths and weaknesses. That's probably the biggest issue. And then choosing the approach that will be most effective in combating them. You're going to be keeping an eye on your health, on your mana totals, and figuring out how far you can stretch your limited number of precious health and mana potions. And for me, it's that limitation, that push your economical luck gameplay that makes combat in this game satisfying despite its simplicity. That and the pleasure of using the coin that you earn to get new weapons and other upgrades. It's never like a brain-burning game or a punishingly difficult game. I find it just complex enough to be a fun little diversion. There are both story quests that have you taking on multiple consecutive battles in sequence that you have to do all in once in a single sitting in order to complete the quest, but there's also the option to take on short random battles anytime from that very first load screen. So this is a great option, I think, as either a quick diversion for 60 seconds at a time during your lunch break, or potentially even as your dedicated game for an entire evening. Although quests do involve branching paths and some simple text-driven cutscenes with some choices now and then, there's no exploration in this game apart from choosing a quest on the overworld map, maybe. After that, any story or choices play out on that same screen that you do battle on. So again, this is super streamlined. It's not about exploration. It's not about really interacting with other characters and making choices and story and stuff like that. It's about turn-based JRPG combat with upgrading in between. And because it's so streamlined, it's easy to pick up and play as either a new player or as one returning after a long time away. There's almost no chance of being lost and trying to remember where you left off in the story or what you're supposed to do next. That's something I just hate about classic JRPGs. Modern RPGs have like waypoints built into the map so you remember like where you left off and what you need to do next, even if it's been 3 months since the last time you picked it up. This game, you really don't have to worry about that. You just fire it up anytime and you're right back into it. It's been since 2015 that I played this game, and I fired it up. I was like, oh yeah, I remember, how to do this. This is pretty simple. quests are numerous, but they're also easily digestible, and you can, like I said, also just opt to do random battles that are adjusted to your level. And with new events and content being added or seasonally rotated in and out, I find that the variety is really nice. The visuals are simple, it's a Flash-based game, and yet it includes some cool character and creature designs. Some are surprisingly dark or creative looking for such an otherwise cartoony looking game. And even though the game is old, I could tell it had received some nice little visual upgrades when I logged in for this review. The attacks and spells all come with sound effects, not the highest fidelity, but they're still nice. But there isn't really a score to speak of. They did have a little one playing very faintly in the background during the tutorial as I, started a new character this time around. But then it seemed to go away once I got into the game proper. But I found the absence of a score in all my time playing it to really be a plus. Because this is a great option to play on your PC while listening to a podcast in the background or something. Or like me, you can pop in your own music and make the soundtrack be whatever you want. I mean, for me, I will forever associate this game with the pounding beats of electronic artist Andy Hunter. Now, regarding monetization, you can upgrade your account to Guardian status for $20. Guardian status, I don't think it's really worth doing. I doubt anyone would really find it very tempting today. It gives you access to a few more skills in your class skill trees, but not in a way that keeps you from advancing. Like, for example, say you have 10 skills in a tree for a certain character, then you would, without being a guardian, get access to skills 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So you're still able to advance and become more powerful. You just don't have as many maybe customization options in terms of what specific skills you want to choose as you advance, but it's not going to prevent you from being powerful enough to continue making your way through the quests in the game and stuff like that. And there is a level cap somewhere above, I think 135 is the level cap for a non-paid account, and 165 is the level cap for a Guardian account. And I'm at a level, my old character is at level 69. I put hours and hours and hours into the game. I enjoyed a ton of it, and I only got to, so I didn't even get anywhere near what would have been the level cap for a non-paid account. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, and you also get access to some areas on the world map that are not accessible with a free account. But again, there's so many places that you can have access to, it's not that big a deal. There's so much content in the game, and the perks of Guardian status are mostly, I think, for small conveniences. Players looking for an old school challenge might even prefer not having the option of a few extra starting potions, which, Guardians get at login, or temporary weapons that you can use and take with you into quests. I really don't even use those temporary weapons anyway. I purchased Guardian status in 2005, and it only cost me $5 to $10, I think. I would not pay $20 for it today. I mostly purchased it at the time for the convenience of not having to wait for space on the server. Sometimes you have to wait to be queued into the server because it's populated and stuff. But you might not have to deal with that now with a free account, because this game is, I think, pretty well past its prime in terms of popularity. And I didn't have to deal with any wait time when I was testing out a new free account for this summer of free segments. So depending on time of day, day of week, and stuff like that, you might not have any wait at all getting into this game with a free account. So I have some really fond memories of playing this game early on in our marriage when we would visit Holly's family in Pennsylvania, and I didn't want to risk traveling with a game console at the time. This was my vacation game for at least a year or two when we would make periodic trips out to Pennsylvania. I could play it on any PC that had internet access without installing anything or lugging any game hardware around. So if that sounds nice to you and you like old school JRPG combat and that loot progression, then give Adventure Quest a try by visiting Battlon.com.
Let's begin.
Burn, ungodly filth!
What do you want? To make you ours or to make you despair?
Spirit Blade Productions presents
Do you have any idea how much I will make you suffer? The horrific agony that I will inflict.
Spirit Blade Dark Ritual.
Hell will be a refuge for you when I'm finished.
For more information, visit spiritblade.com.